How do you know if that was the moment in the search for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and more specifically their fans, of the moment?
We'll know if it's the moment if they close out the series. Like that's, Merrick asked me today on radio, he says, do we now say that Jack Campbell is out playing Andrei Vasilevsky? I said, I'll tell you if they close out the series. Last night was such a hilarious ride. It's every reason that we all love sports, right?
It is.
So, I grew up in Toronto. I've got a lot of family who are big Leaf fans. I got a lot of friends who are big Leaf fans. My brother-in-law texted me during the first period last night. He's like, what the is going on? He's like, they're blowing it again. And my buddies who are big Leaf fans they're killing me. And then at the end of the game, like, I knew they were going to pull it out. And my brother,
same guys, you were absolutely
same guy. Like they've got the GM fired, they've got the coach fired, they've got all the players traded. At the end of the game, they're like, yeah, I knew they were going to pull it out. Look, Brian Spear, who, as you know, produces the Hockey Night show, he had the great point last night in the parking garage as we were leaving the game. He said, in Game 6, you've got the team that's won one game in 5 years when they've had a lead in a series, versus the team that in the last 3 playoffs is 15-0 when they lose a game. If you're going to prove that you're different, or it's going to be either Game 6 or it's going to be Game 7.
Right.
They've been here before. I said at the beginning of the series, I thought they were good. I picked Tampa because I don't like to pick against Tampa, but I thought Toronto was good enough to beat Tampa. Now they've got a chance to prove it.
The interesting part of this to me is, with Tampa, the margin for error becomes even more slim. Like, I understand the matchups with Boston were pretty tough. I don't know if Columbus was the giant killer that everyone's trying to make them out to be in hindsight. But this Tampa team is real.
Yeah.
That's a goalie who hasn't lost consecutive games in 2.5 playoffs. Like, it's unbelievable what they have done. That record that you're talking about, that 53 or 52 consecutive games without losing back-to-back games, is better than the 1976 Montreal Canadiens. You got, by a significant margin. All those things, that margin of error is so slim that you feel like if the Leafs can find it within themselves to get over this hump, it could be the kind of thing that they can ride.
Well, look, they've earned this series lead. Like, this is not a fluke. They've deserved it. They haven't, like every team, they haven't always played great at times, but they have earned this league. I watched John Cooper this morning. He said, look, like, we're handing it to them. I think Toronto's earned the lead. They've played well enough to be up 3-2 in this series. Now you got to close it out. I got to tell you, on that board you just showed, about the most amazing thing about it, the Islanders aren't there. Like, they won 19 straight playoff series, a record I don't think will ever be broken.
They didn't lose a lot either.
And they're not even on that board, which is pretty crazy. You could see, like, there's that board again. That, and the other thing that I thought was big last night was, Campbell was one hero. He saved their butts.
Bunch of times, yeah.
He absolutely saved their butts. But the core four, the guys who were eating up the largest percentage of the salary, Nylander had 3 points, Tavares had 2 points, and Marner and Matthews combined on that game-winning goal that was two guys understanding what each other was going to do.
Yeah.
It was like the mental link. Marner knew what to do, and Matthews knew what Marner was going to do, and that's why they won that game on that goal. You can't write it better. The one thing I remember is, last year they're up 3-1 on Montreal, and articles are appearing. Finally, the Leafs are playing in the vision that they had for them, and don't count your chickens before they've hatched.
No, they got to finish it to make it all worthwhile, and that's what we said in the opening. It's funny how you are echoing what Jesse and I were talking. You want to weigh in on Spezza having to give a motivational speech, because that was the only thing that we were ripping the Leafs about. Like, how do you need the Spezza motivational speech to get you through in a Game 5 against the 2-time defending Cup champs, given the last 5 years? Like, you would think that you'd be able to get up for that game.
It was funny. My brother, a couple of my buddies were saying maybe they should hire him to coach the last 2 games. Actually, I have to say this about Keefe. I thought in the last 3 days, and just in terms of not letting the noise get to them, earlier this year he got criticized for calling them soft, and he's shown before he can really have an edge. I thought the way he answered questions in the aftermath of Game 4 and on, I thought he did the best job not to let things go crazy and out of control.
I don't know if you know this, but I have the feeling that Keith behind the closed doors, and maybe this is the All or Nothing from Amazon that I saw, Keith behind closed doors says different things than Keith in front of the media. Like, I think he knows what he's doing.
I would bet in the last 72 hours, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I remember when he was hired, someone said to me to watch Nylander. And I said, why is this? And he goes, because when Keith had Nylander with the Marlies, he was really, really hard on him.
Right.
And I would guarantee to you, Nylander had that awful shift that everybody watched in Game 4, and he had a bad start last night, but he finished great, and he was one of the heroes of the game. I have no doubt that Nylander and Keith had some pretty intense conversations over the last
Leafs
3 days.
leading goal scorer and scorer over the last 2 playoff seasons.
Wild.
William Nylander.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the Edmonton Oilers. A tough start for them. The similarities to me are striking between Toronto and Edmonton and what they're trying to accomplish and the history that they have and what happens when they don't play well. Bad starts, kind of laying an egg. And this Nurse suspension for a game is absolutely massive.
You cannot lose your temper like that. You can't, and you just can't. And now we see what the consequences are. When I was in grade 12, I used to have a really bad temper, and I was so mad about something, I punched an old grandfather clock in our house.
I'm glad the clock on the end was very important.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a grandfather clock in our
not a
house, and I
grandfather.
broke it.
Yeah.
And my father grounded me for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I said, this penalty is unacceptable. It's too harsh. And he said to me, you have to learn to control your temper, because if you don't, it will hurt you at a time where you can't afford it to hurt you.
Right.
So I always think about that. And when I saw that with Nurse last night, and then I looked at Chris Weidman got the one game. I forgot about the Buchnevich one until this morning, but it was textbook. Like they had, I bet you that there were probably people in the NHL office who were probably thinking like, okay, Edmonton's on. They could get knocked out. Is there any way we can not suspend them? But they had no choice. He gave them no choice but to suspend them.